Hello, it's Luke at thePagesPrinted.com, and I'm back with another review. So last review I did, I said I was going to try and be more regular with these. I then recorded another one to go out last week. I then accidentally deleted it 2 days later, just as I was about to upload it. So sorry about that. It might be on my cloud or something somewhere, but I'll just do it again. So yeah, I'm going to try and be more regular and do 2 a week, so on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm going to record some this week, and then I'm actually away for a fortnight, but I'm going to try and get them set up so they go live whilst I'm away. Don't know how that's going to work, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. Thanks for people who got in touch after the last one. I had nice messages on Instagram and Twitter, and comment on here as well, so cheers for that. And yeah, if you like this, do the normal stuff, subscribe and comment and like, then also get in touch on the social medias, the details of which I will give at the end of this. But to the book, which is the important part, and we're going to talk about The Waking by Matthew Smith. So this book is published by a UK publisher called Wundor Editions, and they are a company that publish fiction, poetry, and travel guides as well. They publish a couple of city guides. I don't know if you can see very well on there, but it is a really gorgeous book. It's a beautiful cover, and it's a very kind of nice, tactile book to hold. So if you want a book that kind of feels value for money, this is absolutely it. Author Matthew Smith is a poet, author, photographer, graphic designer, and he's also a publisher and editor at Wundor. So he's got many strings to his bow, but I guess the worry is, if he's publishing this through his own publishing house, is it a vanity project that isn't very good? Well, no. It's really very good indeed, actually. It's an excellent novel. I picked it up yesterday morning and read it in about an hour and a half, just in bed on a Sunday morning with a cup of tea. It was great. It's really well written, and it has a great kind of quite simple plot that just draws you through the book, and leaves you, I don't know, feeling like you breathe a big sigh and get on with your day. And it's a really kind of nice, enjoyable read. Essentially, it's about a girl called Isabel. She's 23 and she's still coming to death with the terms of her mother. Her mother, Marianne, was an acclaimed novelist who died in a house fire several years before. When Isabel meets a woman called Imogen, Imogen is writing a PhD on Marianne, the novelist. And basically, through conversations between Isabel and Imogen, you learn more about kind of Isabel's childhood and her life with her mother. You learn more about the mother, and you learn more about the fire that killed her, ultimately, and the circumstances surrounding that, which are quite mysterious and are explored in kind of really intriguing detail later on. It's a really lovely character study of Isabel, but also of Marianne, the novelist. What's quite nice is that the author draws into it snippets of Marianne's work, so he's really creating kind of a world within a world. And to be honest, when I read the blurb, I thought this was a piece of non-fiction until I saw the author's name and realised that. And, it works well as kind of a memoir of grief to an extent. And what's impressive is that, he writes that so realistically. There's no point where you're thinking, this is a work of fiction. When you're reading it, you're seeing Isabel as a real woman, and you're thinking, why haven't I heard of Marianne Sykes? Maybe I have heard of her. I must check out her books, that kind of thing. So it's very kind of enveloping in this world, which is nice. It's what I like in a book. In terms of what I was reminded of, he's very. I don't want to say sparse with the prose. He just knows when to use it and when to use it effectively. He doesn't beat the reader around the head with grief or with kind of big emotional feelings. He writes real and very raw characters, and kind of does so in a very good way. And I feel that's why I almost felt it was like non-fiction. It feels like someone writing as they would write rather than as an author would write them, if that makes any sense. I think it makes some sense to me, but then I'm the one who's read the book, so who knows. But because of that, I was reminded a bit of Iris Murdoch. Iris Murdoch was very good at giving readers characters that they could explore for themselves to an extent. I think everyone who reads an Iris Murdoch book comes away with a slightly different view of a character, and I think that's what the author Matthew Smith has done here as well, which is great. I think that's a considerable skill, even if it's not done intentionally. It works wonderfully well and gives a book a whole new dimension, I think, for everyone who reads it. Another thing he explores is the relationship between art and artists, and also artists and their families, and also between families and the effects of grief. And because of that, I was quite strongly reminded of Notes from an Exhibition by another of my favourite authors, Patrick Gale. Notes from an Exhibition is a book about the death of a sculptor and her family coming to terms with that death, and looking back on their childhood with their quite troubled mother. It's a wonderful book, and I very much recommend it as well. But yeah, you know, it's incredibly skilled for a debut novel. It's a strong read. It's very, very compelling. It's not very long. It's only 200 pages. So as I said, it's kind of ideal if you want to curl up with a good book that you can potentially finish in an evening. Then I would recommend this. And not only that, but it's really quite beautiful, both in terms of cover and in terms of content. So check it out. There will be a text review on the pages, not on pagesprinted.com. It'll be up on thebookbag.co.uk. So have a look on there. My personal website is pagesprinted.com. Plenty of reviews and author interviews on there. And then also feel free to say hello on Instagram at Luke V Marlowe, or on Twitter at Luke Victor M. And you can always do the comment, subscribe, and like thing on here as well. I'm still getting to grips with YouTube and how that works. I like watching videos, not so keen on being in them, but we'll see how this goes. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you do get this, please let me know what you think. You know, it'd be really good to get some feedback on what readers like, because then I can decide what to focus on going forwards. But thanks for watching, and happy reading.